Hey guys, welcome to my pre-owned review of Ghost Recon Wildlands. I apologize that this is a day late. I have had a hard time readjusting to my new schedule once I got back to work, and my air conditioner broke today, so it's been very hot in the room that I had to record in. So it's been difficult to record overall because of that. So, after that quick introduction, let's get into the meat of the video. So, let's start off with the story. The story of this game is that the Santa Blanca cartel has taken over the entire country of Bolivia. Yes, the entire country. They've basically deposed the government by ruling them from the shadows. And it is up to the team known as the Ghosts, led by your character Nomad, and the rest of the Ghosts, who can be either 3 AI buddies, as I currently have, or up to 3 other friends in co-op mode, led by Karen Bowman, your CIA or government handler, to take down the Santa Blanca cartel by disrupting their 4 main branches: influence, security, production, and smuggling, and eventually taking out their head, El Sueño, the boss of bosses. So, let's move on to the gameplay, and we'll start with the open world. So, as I mentioned, Santa Blanca controls the entirety of Bolivia, so the map is the entirety of Bolivia. You get to explore the whole country, from forests up in Espiritu Santo, to the salt flats of Coani, to the icy mountains of Inca Camina, to the large resort-style lake area that is this. I don't remember the exact name of it, but you can see it on the screen. And each of the areas is led by a Buchan, or Buchan, I say Buchan, who heads up each of the areas. Each of the 4 pieces of Santa Blanca is run by an underboss run by the head, who has an underboss. And like I said earlier, there are 4 areas. So there is the security area, which has the head El Muro, or the wall, and his brother La Plaga, who is his underboss, or the Plague. So then there is Urian Polito, Carl Bookhart, General Barrow, and El Pozzolero, who are all the Buchans under him. Then there's El Cardinal, who is the Cardinal, and he is the head of influence, with his underboss Ramon Feliz, and his Buchans La Santera, DJ Perico, Carzita, and El Chido. There's production, led by El Yayo, and his underboss La Gringa, and their Buchans El Emisario, Madre Coca, Marcus Jensen, and El Way. And finally, smuggling, with the head being the Beauty Queen, Nydia Flores, her husband El Boquita, their Bucans El Gato, Antonio, El Pulpo, Boston Reed, El Cerebro, and La Cabra, but she is a DLC character that you get from the pre-order bonus, I believe, the pre-order mission. She's an extra character that you don't have to get. She's not necessary for the game. And then finally there is El Sueño, the head of the entire cartel. So you start off in Idacal, which is where I am now, but you can handle these in any order you want, which allows for some really awesome variety. It allows you to, you could start here, or you could start over here, or you could start here, but each of the areas has difficulties settings. So Montuyok, which is where Carl Burkhart is. This is one of the harder areas in the game because it's got 5 skulls. Kawani is a hard area in the game. Flor de Oro and Libertad are hard areas in the game. So you will be able to see the difficulties, and you can start here because it's a 1 skull. So you're like, oh, this is the easy area. This is kind of where I can get my feet wet. That's kind of how I interpreted doing it. And then I moved on to Okoro, and then Agua Verde. And then once I had these down, I kind of spread out a little more and just kind of went wherever I wanted. And I thought the way I handled the game was a good way to handle it, just kind of like starting here, getting my feet wet, and moving on. So, for weapons in the game, there is no shortage of weapons. Weapons can be picked up as you go. You can pick them up in crates in areas, or you can unlock them from some missions. Or you can unlock them from the Ubisoft Club, like I did. This pistol, which is literally a flintlock pistol. There are also various gadgets that you can equip. There are different drones that you can unlock that do different things, like pick up allies, make a bunch of noise, an EMP blast, or an explosive. They are really cool. Sorry, I just went to a wrong menu. There's also a varied skill tree where you can unlock multiple things, like getting more stable aim, increasing weapon accuracy at long range, unlocking more drone battery, more drone range, being able to go into night vision in your drone, unlocking different abilities, increasing your physical resistances, helping your squad improve better, getting different rebel support things as well. Now, of course, there are, as you might have seen, battle crates, and we can go to the store, and as you can see, there are microtransactions, but as I made my policy clear in the last game, microtransactions in multiplayer games aren't what I really automatically take off a point for. It's kind of a case-by-case system. If you have something like Rainbow Six Siege, where they're all cosmetic-based, completely optional, and you can unlock some of the cosmetics without having to pay anything, then I'm perfectly fine with that, and this is very similar to that. I think Ubisoft handles their microtransactions very well in games like Siege and Wildlands. But if you have a game like Battlefront 2 that came out last year that has atrocious microtransactions that allow you to basically win the game because you bought a bunch of stuff, I hate that, and I will not accept it, and I will take points off on my final review score because of it. But that is more of a case-by-case system when it comes to multiplayer games, and since this is a multiplayer game, it's a case-by-case system, and I feel because you have the ability to unlock these things just by playing, and you don't have to buy the credits at all, I think that this does not warrant me taking off a point of the final score of the game, especially since you can unlock them by playing, so I've been able to see, or they really just don't matter because they're just more cosmetics, and honestly, you have plenty of cosmetics. Speaking of that, you can also edit the appearance of your character. You can put them in different clothes, like if I wanted to wear a polo t-shirt or a tank top. You can wear different harnesses, backpacks, pants, boots, helmets, headgear, glasses. You can customize your weapons with multiple attachments, extended magazines, underbarrel grenade launchers, different scopes, different stocks, everything like that. And with newer updates that have come out recently in the Season 2 that it's currently in, you can actually change the appearances of your teammates. So I changed all of the teammates to look very similar to each other with all the same outfits, same pants, same helmet, or same headgear as you can see, but like different backpacks and different vests and things, because I wanted there to be some variation in these characters, and I kind of basically had a headcanon of they were given uniforms, but were told, like, bring your backpack and your vest from home. They're kind of like your personality. And so that's what I thought. There are also costumes in the game. There's like a Division costume and an Assassin's Creed costume, but you have to have owned those games at a point. I don't own the Division, but I played the beta, so I guess that counted. There's one for Ghost Recon, Future Soldier, Splinter Cell, and there's a few more in there. They've also added this Tier 1 system, which I haven't played with, but it's a new addition to it, and it gives you rewards and things. And of course, there's the current challenge, which is currently to extract Sam Fisher. That mission's hard as crap. I will not sugarcoat it. And every time you fail, you have to start at the very beginning, which pisses me off so much. I hate it. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. It's just so annoying, this mission. But it is something that we won't really talk about that much in this video, because I don't really consider it. It's a temporary thing, a small little add-on for free that doesn't really affect my score. So now let's talk about the actual, like, gameplay mechanics, like fighting and things. There are lots of vehicles, there are cars, there are motorcycles, and there are helicopters, and recently the helicopters' controls have actually been changed. It is now a right trigger to go up, left trigger to go down mechanic, which is way easier than what it used to be. It's way better. I haven't played since this was introduced, but it's really awesome. It makes this a lot more easy to control and a lot better. So we're just gonna let's go do like a side mission or something. Let's see here. I'm gonna go steal this plane. Alright, so there is a slight problem with some of the missions in this game. The overall gameplay is very varied. You can tackle situations with stealth, you can go in gun like with a sniper rifle, or you can go in guns blazing with a LMG, or you can just be like the ultimate sniper, the ultimate stealth guy. You can walk in and melee people in an area. You can go by a car, you can jump out of planes, you can fast travel around. It's awesome, and this big open world allows for a lot of variation, and varied gameplay is so much fun. However, many missions will require you to have stealth. There's one mission in the Agua Verde area, an area I really liked. It's basically go to this resort house and plant these bugs in this room for when the guy comes back, but you can't get noticed or you have to restart the mission. This is my first Ghost Recon game, but from what I've understood about other Ghost Recon games is that every mission can be carried out in a varied way. You can go stealth, you can go guns blazing, and that was kind of a big thing for the Ghost Recon series. But some of the missions in this game do have forced stealth. I don't like it. I used to love, like, running around with my LMG just shooting guys, knocking out helicopters and all that stuff. When I get to this mission, and suddenly I can't use my loadout because I don't have any suppressors, so I can't go into this area because I'm not going to be able to handle that situation. Let's see here. There is a ton of customization like I talked about. Every one of the bosses is a very different character, and I love that. These two are a couple that met Like you're provided in each area a video talking about each of the bosses. Like this is a couple who learned that they have very similar tendencies in torturing people. This guy is the grandson of the leader of the production group, and he wants to run the area not to disappoint his grandfather. This guy is a former gang member, a failed Sicario who had no other uses in the cartel besides making songs and running their radio station. Every one of these guys is a very different character. They act very differently, but the problem with each of them is not who they are, but how you take them down. When you go to this area, you do a bunch of stuff. It's different, like go and plant bugs here, go blow up this stuff. It's different stuff in every area, but it all amounts to go here, disrupt this stuff, draw him out, take him down. Go here, disrupt his stuff, draw him out, take him down. And sometimes you kill them, sometimes you convert them, sometimes you just arrest them and do something else after you've arrested them with their information. It's all varied, it's great, it's awesome, but the way you do it is the same every time, and sometimes they're the same mission. You go here, blow this up. Go here, kill this guy. Go here, do this thing. It's just, you tackle every area in the exact same way, and it's pretty annoying. Becomes an overall repetitiveness to the game, and there's already an overall repetitiveness to, you want to stealth, so you're sniping the whole game mostly, and like there's already an overall repetitiveness to shooting very similar looking guys for the entire game, so the fact that you have to go to every area and do the same thing over and over and over again is ridiculous, and I don't like it. But I do love the actual gameplay. As you can see here, you put out a drone and locate guys and spot them.
Second target. Tango number 3.
And especially this sync shot system.
I need to get to a better position. I got it. Moving to position. Copy that. Target moving. That. Target marked.
You can mark up to 3 targets once you have it upgraded. Engage and take them all down in 1 second, like that. And of course there's a small cooldown, but that's why you have your own gun.
Shit, they spotted us. Get down!
Oh man, I like that pistol.
Clear on
yeah,
this side.
The gameplay is cool. You can attack it in any way you want with different guns. You don't have to bring a sniper. You don't have to bring an assault rifle. You can bring a shotgun and an LMG. You can bring assault rifle and a sniper rifle, like I do. You can bring them suppressed. You can bring them unsuppressed.
The rebels can pick up these supplies later.
You can tackle these missions however you want. It's just that there's a lot of overall repetitiveness in this game, and it's just not great. And the overall repetitiveness in this game is basically the biggest thing that I have to take points away from this game for, is just that it's very repetitive. It's fun, it's engaging, but it's very repetitive. And that's not great. Now, there's also some control issues, like the planes aren't the best thing to control, but they do well. Let's see here. Yeah, the vehicle controls are okay. Sometimes the cars and bikes can seem a little slidey. Planes are really weird to control. Like, I'm barely tilting the stick, and it's almost moving the entirety of the flaps of the plane. Like, that's just kind of crazy. But they've definitely improved the vehicle controls, giving an entire new vehicle control setup to the helicopters since the original launch of the game, and the helicopter controls were actually the most complained about thing. And to see Ubisoft take the action and actually address that problem is awesome. And also, as you just heard, your character says shitballs so many times, it's basically a joke. It has become a joke between me and my friends of just saying shitballs over and over again because he says it a lot. I don't know if he says it this much if you play a woman.
Everything's in one piece. Let's
But,
go. Tell the rebels where to come get their new toys.
But yeah, he says shitballs a lot. So if something's not going your way in a game, like you're playing GTA and your car goes off a cliff or something, or you're playing Siege and you get shot at, just scream shitballs.
Alright, good to go.
Yeah, so overall, if I had to give an overall impression of the gameplay, it's really fun. It can be pretty varied at a lot of times, but the forced stealth and the extreme amount of overall repetitiveness hurts the game so much. But because of its massive open world, its awesome gun loadouts, its crazy weather, as you can just see, its very realistic feeling setting, its awesome guns and character customization, skill trees, all that stuff, it's definitely got some really good gameplay. Now moving on to other modes. The only other mode of note in the game is the Ghost Wars 4v4 multiplayer mode. Now, this is a multiplayer mode with very different classes called loadouts that you can pick to play. Currently I'm playing as, I believe it's called the Scout. But my ability is that I have a recon drone that I can
Enemy drone overhead.
locate enemies with. There are other characters like one that can call in a mortar strike, one that can revive teammates from afar. There's one that can carry 2 primary weapons instead of a primary and a secondary. And there are lots of varied other ones. But overall, it's a pretty fun, interesting multiplayer mode. When they finally introduced it into the game, I was pretty happy about it. I've gotten to play a lot of it recently, and it's pretty fun. It's very similar to Rainbow Six in the way that it's kind of a slow, methodical, find your targets and eliminate them kind of thing.
Frag out. Frag out. Hola, putas.
But I thoroughly enjoy this multiplayer mode. It's got varied gameplay, very similarly to the main game. It's just that every game is completely different because your team composition is going to be different. You've got people playing different classes. You've got different objectives. You can either be going after just like eliminating the enemy team, or you can be
You've got a fix on me.
trying to take a certain objective.
Rogue visual with the enemy.
Or you could be just, yeah, like taking out enemies or trying to get a certain objective complete, or take a certain area. The same character customization is available, albeit the weapons are kind of limited to the characters that you pick, but, you know, that's okay. Is that you have different loadouts for the different characters that make sense for the characters that you have, and I really enjoy the multiplayer mode. I think it's awesome. I want to play it more, and that's what I'm going to be doing, is I'm going to be playing this game a lot more just to play the multiplayer. Because I, again, thoroughly enjoy this multiplayer mode.
Recon tower is back online. Enemy positions located. Picking up a signal from the recon tower. It'll be active soon. Enemy forces neutralized. Great job.
Now to talk about the pros and cons and give my final verdict for the game. So my overall pros were that the vast open world of Bolivia, with its very lived-in feel, civilians running around mixed in with Unidad police, Santa Blanca cartel members and rebels, with these awesome different areas, is a very fun experience to go through, with awesome gameplay, great weapon variety, and an awesome multiplayer mode that I thoroughly enjoy. The negatives, there actually aren't that many. Originally, when I played this game, I kind of felt like it was a 7 out of 10 game. But now with the multiplayer, I feel like it's a step above what I might have had initially. Of course, I didn't play the DLCs, and that might also take away from the experience. The overall repetitiveness of going into every area, do this thing, draw them out, take them down, is quite annoying, as well as some repetitive gameplay systems. So with the general overall repetitiveness, I subtract a point. I also subtract a 0.5 for the forced stealth sections, and a 0.5 for the ending of the game. Now, I didn't talk about the ending of the game, and that was kind of for the reason that I didn't want to spoil it. And so I've saved it for the very ending part of this video when I'm going over my negatives. So if you do not want to hear the ending of the game spoiled, please skip ahead in the video. This is your spoiler alert. So at the ending of the game, you find out that the rebels, I didn't really understand what the rebels had done, but basically they kind of betrayed you. And El Sueño is waiting for you in this church, and you have to get there in 4 minutes in this really awesome mission where the rebels are attacking you and Santa Blanca is attacking you, and you have to race for like 4.5 minutes across like 2 or 3 provinces to get to this church where El Sueño is waiting for you, and you fight your way up to him, and you finally get in there, and you're like, alright, big boss fight time. I'm gonna take down El Sueño, the boss of bosses. And then he tells you, surprise, I'm a US government asset now. So diplomatic immunity, you can't kill me. And in the original ending of the game, Karen's like, well, I'm sorry, and then shoots him in the face. Well, in the back of the head, but is basically she's pissed off, and she goes to prison for betraying the government. And El Sueño dies. And that ending was slightly disappointing because, like, well, I didn't get to fight the boss. And then it tells you, well, if you play that mission again, you can see the real ending of the game, the canon ending. So I was like, alright, awesome, maybe I'll finally get a fight with El Sueño. And I did it, and it was the same mission again. Again, it was my favorite mission of the game, this awesome big car chase with lots of explosions, lots of fighting, lots of fun. I pulled out my LMG, like I said, I love my LMG, and just went to town on the bad guys. I got in, and he's like, well, I got diplomatic immunity, and I thought I was going to go like, oh, we don't care, and then we were going to have this big boss fight. No, it's just this time Karen doesn't shoot him. Yeah. So the ending was kind of bad. But basically the ending is El Sueño is now a government asset, but Karen's like, don't worry, we're going to be watching El Sueño like a hawk. So if he screws up, we'll go get him. It's like, alright, but, I mean, there's not really anything we can do now. And so the ending is basically just nobody goes to prison. It was a bit disappointing, and so I took half a point off for it. like, just to kind of feel like everything you'd done was, I mean, you took down this massive organization, sure, and he is taking down other cartels with his information, but he also gets to go free and live in this awesome apartment in Florida. So really, did you really win? I didn't. I felt like I accomplished something, but I didn't accomplish everything, so that's why I took off half a point for the ending, which now brings my final score to an 8 out of 10. Sorry, if you stay idle too long on the menu, it plays videos. But anyway, 8 out of 10. It's a really good game. I definitely recommend you picking it up, especially if your friends have it. I would not play this game if nobody you know has it. I would play it with friends because co-oping the campaign is so much fun, and Ghost War is an awesome multiplayer mode to play with your friends. So definitely pick this up if you and a bunch of buddies are going to get it, or if you have a bunch of buddies that already have it. But don't really pick this up if you... I mean, pick this up if you look interested in it or you liked the other Ghost Recon games and no one else owns it. But if you know nobody else is going to buy it, I'd kind of give this one a pass. Even though it is a really, really good game, it's a really good game. Yeah, I definitely recommend picking it up. But it's definitely a really good game because it's a game you want to play with your friends. So, final score, 8 out of 10. Pick this up, convince your buddies, play it together, play Ghost War. It's awesome. And I hope you guys enjoy the game if you do pick it up. So that's the end of this video. I am not sure what the next game is. I am not sure if I might have to delay it. Again, this video came out a day late because of my new schedule with work, and I don't know what my time will be, but hopefully I can get resituated to my new schedule with work, and I can get these videos out every Friday. If not, I might have to move the day, or I might have to just delay them and not do them for a while. I'm not sure, but I want to keep doing them. It's a big mess that I will have to figure out, but I will keep you guys posted. Anyway, guys, that's it for this video, and I will see you next time.